turn it on. But I don't think the projector shows anyway. It's only what's on the computer screen that shows in these Camtasia videos. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do flashcards today instead of computer. Yes?
Would it be possible to put pictures of them overlapped? Just like a picture of each overlap on Canvas?
I might be able to manage that somehow. Yeah, I'll have to think about how I go about getting
Take a
pictures.
picture with your phone
And then I'd have to figure out how I upload it, but yeah. Yeah, I think there's a way for me to I know how to upload from my phone to the computer, and I think once it's saved to the computer, I think I can figure out how to upload it. Yeah, I think I can figure that out. Okay, so what I thought we could do is a quick run through this way in sort of random order. Okay? I'm seeing some yikes kind of looks.
So that one's so.
Yes, this one is soul. All right? And this one is zoo. Zoo. All right. Yes. G. Notice how I had all the ones that look alike. G. Yeah, this is the G one.
G.
Yeah.
She. Zol.
Zol. Like how I have all the ones that look alike right up together.
Yeah.
Do.
Do.
Right.
Gu.
Right.
Gi. No.
Right.
Ha. A. Na. Pe.
He. Right.
Ne.
Right.
Sa. Ni. Se. Re. Da.
Right.
E.
Right.
Zo. Za.
Za. Right.
Fu.
Right.
Ga.
Right.
Ji.
He.
You shuffle these up for us.
Yeah.
Ya. Ra. Chi. Te. O. Wa. Te. Ha. Ma. Ka. Pi. U. He. Ko. Ru. Ge.
Get. All right.
Bo.
Bo. Right.
Gu. Gu.
Goo. Right.
Ba.
Right.
Mo. Bi. Si. Ku. Ro. Su. Bi. Me.
Is that even right side up?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right side up.
Right side up.
Looks weird. Pretty
Perfect.
good?
I'll write the whole chart right now.
Okay. That is one of the goals, to be able to write out the whole chart for both hiragana and katakana. To just, ideally, if you're really comfortable with your kana, you should be able to just whip out a piece of blank paper and recreate the whole of both charts from scratch in just a few minutes. That's the ideal, to get to the point where you can just do it that quick. I had a friend who taught Japanese in a high school, and I subbed for her for the 1 year she took maternity leave. And one of her warm-up activities that she used to give daily in her high school was however much of the hiragana chart they'd learned thus far, write it 5 times. So like the first day they would just write a, I, U, E, O 5 times, but then by the end of the month they were writing the whole chart 5 times in the first 5 minutes of class. And then she'd move on, and if they didn't finish it, they had to finish it for homework because she collected it at the end of the week every week. So 5 days a week, writing out the whole chart by the end of that first month or so, and then consistently, every once in a while, she'd just bring that back. Okay, write out the whole hiragana chart 5 times again. And they got really fast at it. Their handwriting was atrocious, but they got really fast at it.
I learned the more comfortable I am with knowing
Uh-huh.
the characters, the worse my handwriting gets.
Yeah.
Because I'm just more natural doing it, so I'm
Yeah.
paying less attention to.
Right, and that's one
What it
reason
looks
why
like.
I emphasize handwriting first off the bat, because if you get good handwriting at the beginning, then as you speed up, you've got a good foundation, you've got muscle memory for the right way to write it. So at least if you're using the correct stroke order and your handwriting was pretty good to start with, what you come out with might be messy, but at least it'll be legible. If you're doing the wrong stroke order from the start, as you start to speed up, you make connections in the wrong places, and all of a sudden what you have is a legible scribble instead of actual letters. Okay, so let's run through the combo ones real quick, also out of order and scrambled. Ko, hai,
Feet.
hai,
You.
nyu, hai,
Yo.
kyo,
Yo.
hai,
Yeah.
nya, hai, byu, yes, hai, kyo, hai, kya. Byu, hai. Yeah, some of these sound like onomatopoeia because they are. Chew, yeah, that's a kiss. See, hai,
Yeah.
cha, jo, hai,
Yeah.
ja, shu, hai, yu, hai,
Yo.
hai, kyo,
Yeah.
kya, hai,
Yo.
nyo, hai,
Yeah. You.
hyu, hai, byo, hai, myu,
Yeah. Yo.
ya,
Yeah.
hai,
You.
hai, ya,
Yeah.
hai,
Yo.
nyo, di, di, hai,
Soul.
so,
Soul.
so,
Soul.
yeah. Tse, hai, tse,
Cho.
cho, ju, hai, sho, hai, hyu,
They're bad eyes. It's my sense.
Yeah.
ya, hai, wo, yeah, that's the closest thing to a W-O sound, wo, we, right? Fa,
J.
je, right, je, as in Jeremy. Right,
Wet.
we, right, vous, right, va, ve,
Fed.
fe, fe. Jew, Jew, as in Mountain Dew.
T.
Tea, right, as in iced tea.
Che.
Che, as in check.
Sa.
Ta, right.
She.
She, as in shetty.
Sha.
Sha, and yo, and vi, and
Vo.
vo. Alright. Any questions about katakana in general? Getting better at it? Is everybody still practicing with their own flashcards at home? Yeah, if you're running through all your katakana at least once a day, that's probably good. If you're still rusty on any of your hiragana, I would highly recommend that you do one of two things. Either have your hiragana set and your katakana set, and split them as you go. As you're going through them, the ones you know really, really well, put them aside. Let those rest for a few days before you recycle them back into the pack and see if you still know them. The ones that you're rusty on or you're rough on, keep them in the pack that you're going to go through again. And if you can get through the ones that you're not so sure of more than once in a day, that's even better. And every time you go through it, separate them again into the ones you got really well that you can let rest, and the ones that you're not good at that you need to recycle again and practice them again. If you can get through the whole pack, splitting it and splitting it and splitting it, and continuing to go through the ones you're rusty on until you're getting them well, if you can get to that point where they've all gone into the give it a rest pack by the end of a day, that's excellent. That means you're really getting good practice on them. If you can do it for both hiragana and katakana, that's even better, because you don't want to lose your hiragana just because now you're working on katakana, right? So, speaking of which, let's do a little bit of katakana renshu. I've got a variety of crazy words here in katakana. Some are easy, some are not so easy. So let's try some. Some of them are put together right paperclip because they're personal names that don't apply in this class necessarily. So if we have time, we might try those two just for the heck of it.
America.
Right, easy one, right?
America.
Right.
Business.
Business.
Business. And would you say the
Business.
suit?
Yeah.
We say the suit?
It's slightly less on the u. Business. Business.
Gotcha.
Okay? Business.
Highway.
Yeah.
I was like here
I
when
love
I'm
how the
saying
light
my-
bulb starts coming on slowly, you know?
It's like flickering,
It's like I'm concentrating on, like I'm not hearing myself say it.
Yeah, right, highway. Yes, it is exactly what it
Jake,
sounds
you
like.
sound it out, but I'll hear you and I'll say
Hi.
it. Listen to me. You need to stop.
Oh, okay, if I put them down here, you can't see? Okay, so up here, highway.
Is that how it's pronounced? It's highway?
Hi.
Okay.
There are other words for it too. There's a Japanese, kanji word for it, but hi, as in gift. Presento.
You can hear it all. I can just say it.
Right? Venus, as in the planet, or the, Roman goddess, whichever. duetto, hi, as in two singers.
Like a duet.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Philippine?
Hi, Philippine. Who knows geography?
Like Philippines?
Yeah.
Philippines.
Hi,
Tea?
hi, party. Yes.
I feel like I'm making fun of things. I know I'm not.
Yeah.
And
Hi, that's an easy one, right? Anybody? As in
Reed.
Lee, as in a person named Lee.
That's my middle name.
Yeah, yeah.
Reed.
Could be an American name, could be a Chinese name, could be a Korean name. My son's favorite food, pizza. Right? Pan.
Pan?
No, think Spanish.
Bread.
Bread, yes. Pan is the Japanese word for bread.
That's so weird because bread kept popping, like just a loaf of bread was floating in my mind. I'm like, why? I didn't know.
Because that's correct.
Apparently.
Because you're psychic.
Yeah.
Ka, as in the thing you drive?
Yes, ka.
Like a car?
Yeah, for both Japan and Boston.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, yes, it really is. Commode.
Bill.
Yes, which kind? It's not snail mail.
Email?
Email, yes, meru is what they call email. There are other words for
So why
snail
would it
mail.
be email?
They probably had that at first and then
Yeah.
they shortened it.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that happens a lot with katakana words is they decide that it's too many syllables and they chop it.
Yeah.
Email.
Like I've noticed, like supermarket is super.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
That applies to text messages too, right?
Meru, I want to say that they use SMS for texting. There's just the capital letters in English.
Okay.
But yeah, because tekisto means a textbook. So I don't think they use that, but I think they might use SMS.
Okay.
Oh, dude. Home?
Home?
It sounds like it. This one is
Homework.
tricking you because it's actually, it predates the fo sound being created, which is the fu small o. So this is, the home is from platform, home. It should be home, but this predates that convention. So home is what they actually call the platform that you stand on while you're waiting for your train to arrive. So, you know,
Like a terminal.
yeah,
That's
The bus terminal.
That's somehow depressing. Like,
so home is what they call the, it's basically just a concrete slab usually with a whole bunch of posts and, you know, supporting the roof. And it could be underground if it's the subway, it could be above ground if it's an electric train. And many of the posts will have a sign posted on them that has the name of that station facing toward the train rail so that people on the train can read the sign.
So you'd be like, would you say Homu no Eki? Would be,
Yeah, Eki no Homu would be this train station's platform.
got it.
Yeah. But, and most of the train stations in Japan, in major cities, have multiple homu, and they're numbered and color-coded according to the train system for that city. If you're in a teeny tiny little itsy bitsy village, there might be one homu in one eki for the whole village. But if you're in a big city like Tokyo, you know, every eki has multiple homu. Right.
And lots of vending machines.
Oh, yes,
Oh, man.
yes, and little kiosk vendors with like every magazine and newspaper known to Japan, and also selling gum and obento. This one?
Wine?
Yeah, wine, as in alcoholic beverage.
My girlfriend doesn't get home today.
This one you guys should know.
Page.
Page.
Like page.
Yeah, page. Like, 1ページ would be page 1.
Page 1, each
Right.
page. Not
Right.
a page.
This one? Winter sport. Ski. Right. Suits. What you might wear to work.
Suit.
Right.
Suit.
Right.
I hesitate to say this because I feel like I'm gonna mispronounce it and sound like what you said.
Go for it, Eddie.
Jeans and suits.
Ballroom.
Ballroom.
Like you eat out of?
Ballroom.
You're all sort of close. Ballroom.
Like
Bowling?
sport, like
Like,
bowling?
like
Bowling?
it's actually ball,
Oh.
as
Oh.
in yeah.
Oh, bowling ball,
Like you know, like basketball.
oh.
Okay.
So it's just ball.
Yeah, it's just ball.
Okay.
Basketball, volleyball, football.
Cafe.
Cafe. Hi, cafe.
On the board.
Cake. Cake.
Hi, keiki.
Chef.
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 A chef.
Yes.
Asia. Asia.
Asia. Yes, Asia.
Asia.
As in Asia King's Food would be Asian studies.
Asia.
Asia. Asia. Asia.
Noto.
Notebook.
Notebook. Hi, that's one of your vocab. Ramen. Yes. Yes. Instant ramen.
Kare.
Hi.
Curry.
Hi, kare is curry. Very popular in Japan, by the way.
Like that? T-shirts. Well, you don't know if there is.
What's that first katakana there?
Isn't that crazy?
So someone just said, screw it, let's just throw a T in there?
Yeah, sometimes they spell it this way, sometimes they spell it with a te, small e, to make tea.
So what, just sometimes they just get tired of it and just say, whatever, we'll just use the original language's alphabet?
Sometimes they put English letters in there, yeah. DVD, you'll see it written with a D, V, D sometimes, but when they pronounce
kinda like
it,
a
they'll
logo
pronounce
thing.
it hiragana, katakana style, yeah. DVD, it sometimes gets spelled out, sometimes it gets written with English letters. So, T-shatsu, same thing.
T-shirts.
Right.
Florida.
Hi.
Florida.
Florida. Which, by the way, if you really wanted to get specific and translate Eastern Florida State College correctly, no, Eastern would be Higashi. That's the word for east. So Higashi Florida Shu for Florida State, and then Daigaku for college. So Higashi Florida Shu Daigaku is the proper name in Japanese for this school.
We'll stick to EFSC.
Hi. Oh, sorry, this is confusing when they're different sizes like that. Mekishiko, our neighbor to the south. Mekishiko. Mekishiko. Yes. Hi, Italy. Yes. Hi. Okay.
Hot cocoa.
Yes, it means hot cocoa, and it could also perhaps refer to the town of cocoa. That's one of those, it's kind of a judgment call, whether you want to call it cocoa or
Context.
cocoa, because of context, yeah. Because if somebody doesn't know that Cocoa is a city name in Florida, they could get very confused. You- Yeah, yeah,
Sounds like a
you would
fun place.
probably add the word shi for city or machi for town after it to let people know that you're talking about a place name, not the hot beverage.
Cocoa Beach.
Hi, Cocoa Beach. So this is another way to render Cocoa Beach if you prefer. South of Melbourne.
Palm Bay.
Hi, Palm Bay. Again, you would probably add like sheet for city, Palm Bay sheet, so that people would know that it's a city, because people in Japan will not have heard of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Cocoa.
So, again, instead of cocoa, cocoa would be another alternative.
Melbourne.
Hi, Melbourne. Hi. And this is the same spelling whether you're talking about Australia or Florida. Hi,
Door.
what you came in through.
Gum eraser.
Hi, hi, what you erased your pencil marks with. Hi, hi, what they made you drink a lot of when you were a little kid.
Jeans.
Some of you are wearing them. Right.
Brick suit.
Yes, Britain, Igirisu. I don't know why they do this instead of Ingolando, but Igirisu is in England. Hi, hi, menu. Let's see, this one.
Salad.
Sarada is a salad, hi, and
Cotton. Curtain.
hi,
Mary.
hi, one of the characters in your book, Mary.
She's a second year student at Carlos.
Hi,
Juice.
juice. Hi, juice. Yeah, which, by the way, in Japan, juice, it doesn't just include 100% juice, it also includes any kind of juice drink, high C kind of stuff,
Gatorade.
Tang, Gatorade. So, yeah, it's sort of an all-encompassing word that is basically soft drink. Okay.
Coffee. Coffee.
Hi.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Cola.
Cola. Cola, as in Coke, Pepsi, etc.
Carbonated soft.
Loba. Hey, another character in our book.
Robert.
Hi. Robato, character from the book. Hi.
I don't want to say
Eating
that.
utensil.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not what you were thinking.
Just trying to kick out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah, goes along with your knife and your spoon.
So say it so we know how to properly pronounce it.
Foku, foku. Hi.
Chitsuku.
Check it.
Check it. As in what you ask for when you're done in the restaurant.
Not leave a tip.
Right, in Japan they don't tip. Inasu.
Beans?
No, remember that the V sound is a relatively new invention? Before they had a V, they used to replace all the V's with B's. So, yeah, so Venus is an older spelling for Venus. So Venus and Venus are both used still, depending on who's writing it.
Grandma or grandchild?
Yeah, pretty much. It's largely a generational difference. Also, and this might just be original difference, but there seem to be a number of Japanese people who just can't make their mouths form a V sound, no matter how hard they try. And some people can pronounce it. So some people, maybe partly for that reason, prefer the V spellings. You know, there are some people who take to that V sound. It's like, oh yeah, I learned that in elementary school in my special extra English class that I took outside of school. And then other kids are like, V? I can't say V. You know. Here's a tricky one. This one is an example of it didn't come from the English pronunciation. The English spelling maybe, but not the English pronunciation. May actually be closer to the Spanish pronunciation.
Say that.
Oasis. Oasis. If you don't pronounce the U at the end fully, that helps. Oasis. Oasis.
Oasis?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so like I said, didn't come from the English pronunciation of the word. From the spelling maybe. Yeah, this is another odd one. Stew. Stew.
Bless you.
I'll give you a hint. Made it for dinner last night.
Seafood.
No.
Not a bad guess, guys, right?
Stew. We're dealing with the existence of an
Shrimp?
ST sound in English that you can't do in Japanese.
Stew?
Stew, yes.
Oh.
Stew.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Isn't that crazy?
How would you write Carlos?
Carlos. Carlos.
Got it.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah. Isn't that cute? And they actually treat this as if it were a real Japanese adjective. When we get into adjectives, you'll learn that they actually work with this the same way they work with a whole other class of adjectives that are mostly of Chinese origin.
Say it again.
What?
Say it.
Hansamu. Hansamu. Yeah. Call my son that all the time. Okay, a few longer ones.
Sandwich.
Hi, sandwich. Hamburger, yes, something to order at McDonald's.
This might take a while.
Yeah. Yeah, Indian. Haba. Beachy.
Indian.
Yeah, anybody live over there?
Oh.
Indian Haba Beachy. So if you live around here and you want to be able to put that in your sentence, this is how you spell it.
So what you're saying is don't move to Indian Harbor.
Mineral water.
Hi.
Are you just getting a kick out of seeing us struggle here?
It's better practice if you work it out for yourselves.
Okay.
Seriously. There's a good reason to do it this way. But it is kind of cute.
I saw the towel and I was like, oh, water.
Mineral water. Mineral water. Yes, and yeah, just like we might order a bottled water in this country, mineral water will get you bottled water instead of tap water in Japan. Although most parts of Japan, the tap water is actually very drinkable. Although I don't know if I'd want to trust it in Tokyo these days, after that reactor disaster.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
This is a fun one.
Disneyland.
Hi, Disneylando. D, remember that's decimal E, so D, Disneylando. Remember the hyphen thing is just an extended vowel of whatever vowel it comes after. Disneylando. Disneylando. This is a big hu, a small ah.
Oh,
That helps.
okay.
Fa. Notice that they don't put
Host
any
family.
host family. Hi. Notice that they don't put word breaks anywhere in particular in Japanese. There's no rule that, oh, those two have to go together, so you can't break it here and put the next piece on the next line. They just break it wherever it happens to break.
Is that word really in katakana?
Yeah,
They don't
host
have a
family.
term for host family.
It's a modern concept. Living with somebody that's not your real family just because you're an exchange student from another country. Host family. Yeah. Yeah. It's another local place name.
Satellite beach.
Hi, Satellite Beach. So you can tell I did some of these specifically for students in this area.
Australia.
Hi, Australia. Australia.
It's like I'm learning code words, but
Yeah.
fast notes usually.
Ah. You need this one.
Titusville.
Hi. Hi. Hi, that's
Woo,
video.
represent. No.
Computer.
Hi, something. Computer.
Dashes always mess me up.
Super.
Hi.
Super day.
Get. That's
Gay.
a get. Yeah.
Yep, super gay.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Spaghetti. That's a small two, tet, small e. So spaghetti.
Super getty.
Spaghetti.
Super getty. Super getty.
Spaghetti. Spaghetti. Right? Spaghetti. Okay, just a few more.
Yes.
Alright, so it's Fed.
Anybody want a hamburger or a salada?
Wendy's.
Hi, Wendy's. Something else you can buy at Wendy's. Ice cream. Right?
McDonald's.
Hi, McDonald's. Yes, I know it's crazy, right? The good news is they sometimes shorten it to Makudo. McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Makudo.
Is there any kind of pattern, because like with Starbucks, they keep the S at the end, with McDonald's, they don't.
I've never completely figured out the roles, no.
And then
Like restaurant,
Wendy's, they give it a Z sound.
I just guessed on that one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know for sure, because I don't remember ever seeing Wendy's in Japan, honestly.
I was gonna
Oh,
say the same.
I don't think they have Wendy's. They have
I like their
McDo,
KFCs and their.
and they have KFC, and they have Burger King, although it's not as popular. And then they have a bunch of Japanese chains.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also have 7-Eleven. Right.
They don't call it like Nana Ichiji or something.
Juichi.
Or Juichi.
Giga.
Big Mac.
Giga.
Hi,
Okay.
Big Mac. Seriously, that's what they call it on the menu.
Oh, yeah, cheese.
Oma.
family, homestay.
Homestay.
はい。 Okay, and that is a small and a small tsu, if that helps.
Bashi.
So, fashion.
はい、ファッション。
Oh, it's
Fashion.
Fashion.
はい。As in, you know, Paris Fashion Week. Week. I think it's week. Yeah, week.
Sweden.
Sweden. Sweden. Yes, Sweden is Sweden. Sweden. And Swedenjin would be a Swedish person. If you've been in your homestay for too long, you might be feeling
Homesick.
homesick. Hi. Yes, these are real words.
But that's not their word for sick normally.
No, but homesick is
Yeah.
homesick. Hi. Byoki is sick.
Just like the mineral water they use. Water.
Halloween.
Halloween. Hi. And yeah, this is definitely katakana because they don't have this holiday in Japan.
Yeah.
No, nobody in Japan knows anything about Halloween.
That makes me tourists just walking around the costume day.
Oh, I'm not sure why this one's still in here. This is a personal name.
Steven?
Steven. Hi. So I'm not sure how this one got mixed in because I thought I pulled all those out. But, okay. Yeah, I had one semester I got really ambitious and actually made katakana flashcards of everybody's names. But by the time we got to katakana, half of those people weren't in the class anymore. So I decided not to bother doing that every year. So,
Yeah, anyone can draw that.
yeah, well, we started out with a small group,
Yeah.
but we only lost one person. He only came the first 2 days, the first week.
Oh, I
Have
remember
we
that
decided
was.
if we're gonna have the class for the summer?
I do want to have the class this summer. It's not going to be the same time slot. It
Oh, yeah,
needs to-
clearly, yeah. it'll be
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, 12-week terms are always weird. So,
Yeah.
um,
An hour and 40
my,
minutes, right?
yeah, it's actually, yeah, it's an hour and 40 minutes. And my 2 time slots that I'm going for are going to be either the one that starts at 11:15 in the morning or the one right after lunch. Like, it either starts at like right around 1 or 1:30 depending. So, does anybody have a preference about either of those? And is there anybody who has a preference of Monday versus Wednesday? Monday, Wednesday versus Tuesday, Thursday rather? Does anybody care either way?
I prefer Monday, Wednesday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or sorry, what is it?
Today's Tuesday. This is a Tuesday, Thursday class now.
Oh,
Do you
no,
want to keep
I
it
prefer
Tuesday,
to stay
Thursday?
this.
Stay
Yeah.
I'm
like
sure
this?
most people, so that was a rearrange their schedule.
Yeah, my plan is to probably have the 2 and the 3, since you guys want to continue, and some people from my current level 2s want to continue for 3. Have 2 and 3 on the Tuesday, Thursday, in those 2 time slots, one at 11 something and the other starting at 1 something. And then my new level 1 class, because I always try to open a level 1, will be Monday, Wednesday, and if my independent study wants to continue, I'll do them Monday, Wednesday also. I'm trying to keep it within the time frame of when my kids will be in summer school. You know, the daycare, summer camp thing, so that I can take them to swim lessons in the morning, drop them off at daycare, and be here to teach, and then go pick them up afterwards. So I think that's enough of that kind of practice for a little while. Let's do some practical application. Okay, so 70ページを見てください。70ページを見ましょう。70ページ、わかりますか？ 70ページ、70、わかりますか？ Got it? はい。Okay. Does anybody remember, did we finish that exercise, or did we have a few left to do?
This one, I think we did all of those. Yeah.
Okay. Did we?
We're in C.
Okay, we're on C. Okay. So, 鉛筆はいくらですか? So, the question is pretty straightforward, right? The, whatever the noun is called, wa ikura desu ka, right? And then you answer with the price tag on that item. Now, where it gets a little bit weird is we're going back and forth between two pictures, because picture A has information missing on 4 items, and it has the information for the other 4 items, right? And picture B is on, let's see, 80 page, and it has the other information. Does that make sense? So it's what they call an information gap exercise, where if we were doing this as partners, one of you would look at page 71 picture and the other person would look at the page 80 picture, and you wouldn't be allowed to look at the other one. But since we're going back and forth, what we're going to do is, if you're asking number 1, you're asking about the umbrella, and the other person is going to look at the umbrella price tag to give you the answer, okay? So even if you can see the answer, don't worry about it. Does that make any sense? Okay, so, so the example question and answer, let's just do the example first just to get us started. So Maikoto-san, can you read the question and let Cody-san read the answer for the example?
鉛筆はいくらですか?
100円です。
Hi. So if you were doing this exercise for real, you would put in 100 where it says, has the gap. See what I'm saying? Okay, so now Cody-san gets to ask about the umbrella, and Kate-san is going to answer.
So the casa wa ikura desu ka?
There. Hi.
1200円です。
はい、1200円ですね。はい、now you're going to ask Jake-san about the bicycle. いいですか?
自転車
自転車。
いくらですか？
自転車。
はいくらですか？
はい
わ
3万6千円です。
はい、3万6000円ですね。はい、いいです
時計
ね。
はいくらですか? 1万円です。
はい、そうですね。
ありがとう。
じゃあ、どうぞ。Okay, so you're asking about the dictionary?
Now, I have a question. Is Japanese dictionary considered a proper noun or not?
You would use the no in the middle there.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, 日本語の辞書はいくらですか?
いくら？
いくらですか?
はい、いくら？
3700です。
3700
です。
はい、ありがとう。はい、じゃあどうぞ。Now you're asking about the shoes.
靴はいくらですか?
3500円です。
I'm seeing a different price than what you just said. I see a 4 not a
He's
3.
looking at this picture.
Sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, wrong page.
Yeah. 4500
はい。
です。
4500
円です。
はい、円です。はい。どうぞ。次。You're asking about the t-shirt?
T シャツはいくらですか?
asking about the jeans.
Nanasen and yes.
はい、7000円ですね。Okay, 質問がありますか? Any questions about how to do any of those? Okay.
I do have a question.
はい。
If you're to, instead of just saying the price, if you were to put that into a full sentence where, let's say, the jeans costs, blah, 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 blah.
はい。Okay, so you can say, ジーンズ
Jeans,
wa, I don't remember what price, but let's just say 7000.
sure.
What is the price?
That is the price, okay, 7000 and,
So I wouldn't have to say like costs, that wouldn't be
Right.
in that.
you don't need that, no, it's just ジーンズは7000円です。
The jeans are
7,000 yen.
7,000 yen. I
And
guess
no-
that makes sense, because we're
Yeah.
saying yen, so
Yeah,
we know what we're
right.
referring to.
So, yeah, and notice that when you pronounce the N goes on the end of the number, just like in English, even though you might be saying $1, you put the symbol in the other side.
You're going number and then currency, $1.
Right. Right, you say it $1 even though the dollar symbol is here. The same thing is true with yen. If it's 1,000 yen, you can write it with the symbol, but when you pronounce it, you say sen en. And you put the N pronunciation on the end, just like you put dollar pronunciation on the
Gotcha.
end.
Okay, it's not backwards, isn't that nice?
Yeah, for once, it's the same order as English. How about that? The 1% of the time that English and Japanese actually match up. Yeah. So, does that make sense?
Yes, that's
Okay.
perfect.
So now we're going to look at これは何ですか? Okay, so does everybody remember what we talked about? これ is pointing to something where?
Here.
Here near the person speaking, right? それ is pointing to something
There.
Near the
there,
person you're
near the
speaking
person
to.
you're speaking to, yes.
And
The
then
book
are
calls it the
is-
listener.
And then are is
Are
something
is
elsewhere, not near you. or
Someplace far from both of you, right? Okay. And the important thing to note in terms of grammar is これ、それ, and あれ all come immediately before a wa. Okay, so if it ends in re, the next thing should be wa in terms of these kinds of words,
Because
okay?
that's the item doing the action.
Right. This is the item being described over here. It's usually not an action, it's usually a description.
Well, for verb's
Yeah.
sake. It's the
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
The
it's the
verb is-
thing that this
is ising.
is,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So, これはマジックペンです, right? それは時計です, right? あれはドアです. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what we're practicing here. So when it asks, これは何ですか? Okay.
What is this? Kore would be, what is this?
Okay, so what's the non? What? Okay. So anytime you have a structure like this, where this is the question word, guess what? For the answer, you're going to have parallel structure. Okay? Now, because kore, sore, are indicate what's closer or farther from the person speaking, you've got person A using one of these, right? So person B needs to use a different one based on which one this person used, right? So if this person says, これは何ですか? Then the person answering is going to say, それはマジックペンです, right? If the person asking is saying, それは何ですか? The person answering is going to say,
これ。
こ kore wa, for
Oh,
example,
okay,
tokei desu.
this.
Okay? If the person asks, are wa nan desu ka? The person answering will say, are wa
do
do desu. Okay, so if the original was kore, the answer is going to be sore, right? If the original question was sore, the answer is going to be kore. And if the question was are, the answer is also going to be are, right? The particle is still going to be wa, right? And then in place of the nun, you get what?
The item.
A noun word that identifies the item, right? Followed by
This.
des.
Obviously, you lose the cup.
And you lose the ka because it's no longer a question, it's the answer, right? So do you see how, this is what they call parallel structure. Pronoun, pronoun, particle wa, question word, equivalent noun that answers that question, right? This is going to be something that answers the question what, right? And des, parallel. Isn't that neat? There's none of that word order switcheroo that English pulls, right? What is it? It is blank, right? Not, it is what? It is blank. That would be parallel structure.
We're answering what the what is and putting it, almost replacing the word what with what it is.
Exactly.
Everything else stays the same.
Exactly.
Except for location, because you have to change that. But
Right.
where the
Yeah.
location is located in the sentence stays the same.
Yes. Yeah, so all the structure stays static. You just substitute. It's like x equals y in algebra, and you might have a different number for x or for y between one sentence and the next, but it's the same formula. Same formula. Isn't that great? It might seem stilted and weird at first when you're not used to it, but it's so helpful for learning grammar in Japanese. You never will have a question and an answer that have completely different formats. This parallel structure thing keeps working. It's great. Okay, so let's try some of these together. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to get Eddie-san to read example 1. The friend is asking the question, and Michael is going to answer the part that says you. Okay?
Is this still on page, this isn't still on page 8.
No, 71. Back to 71 where we were. So 71, 71 page, part A, where it says example 1, friend. I want you to read the friend, and Michael's going to read you.
それは何ですか?
Kore wa pen desu.
Hi. So you see where they have example number 1 in the picture? Okay. So the person asking the question is taking the role of somebody who's further away, right? And the person answering is answering about stuff in their little circle. You see how they've got the you circle and the friend circle? The things that are in the you circle are near the person playing the you role, and the things in the friend circle are near the person playing the friend role. And again, because we are moving around the room with it, it's going to keep flip-flopping who's doing which role. Okay? So, Michael, I'm going to get you to read example number 2, friend, and Cody's going to read example number 2, you.
Kore wa nan desu ka?
それは T シャツです。
Hi. So you see how the kore and sore swapped based on who was asking the question and what item was near or far from them? Does that make sense? So the first one, they're talking about the friend is asking, sore wa nan desu ka? And the girl in the circle is answering, kore wa pen desu, because it's in the same circle with her, right? And then the second one, the friend is talking about the t-shirt, which is right near him. So, これは何ですか? And she answers with, それは T シャツです because it's closer to him than it is to her. Did that make sense? How they've got that configured? So now Hori-san gets to ask about question number 1, the bicycle. Okay. So, and you are taking the role of the friend, so it's nearer to her. Yeah.
それは何ですか?
これは自転車です。
Hi. Okay. And now you swap. Now you're the friend and Jake is you. Okay.
Got it.
Sounds
これ
crazy.
は何ですか?
これは帽子です。
Hi. Now it's Jake's turn to be friend and Hunter is you.
それは何ですか? これは1です。
Hi. Okay. Now keep it going. So you're doing number 4.
それは傘なんですか?
それは何?
Sorry, my bad. I'm saying, what is that umbrella near you?
Yeah.
それは何ですか? これは傘です。
Hi. Okay. Keep it
I'll
going.
need you for my part.
Yeah, you're just going to do all the parts. Bradley-san.
それは何ですか?
これは辞書です。
はい。じゃあ、ジョシュアさん。
それは何ですか?
You're the girl, so
What number are we on?
6.
カバン。これはカバンです。
はい、これはカバンです。Okay, now for number 7, you're actually asking about something that's near you, and it's supposed to be a wallet. I know that's a weird little picture, and it's hard to tell what the heck it
What's
is.
the word for wallet?
Ah.
What's the word for wallet?
Who remembers the word for
Saifu.
wallet? Saifu. Hi. Okay, so
それは何ですか?
you're the guy with short hair
Guy.
this time. You're the guy this time.
Oh, okay.
Julie's the girl. So,
これは何ですか?
はい、これは何ですか? And Julie answers with,
それは財布です。
はい, okay. Now Julie is the guy this time and asking about number 8.
これは何ですか?
それは本です。
はい, 本ですね. Okay, now you're the guy this time and you're asking about number 9, and Michael's got.
これは何ですか?
それはノート
Yeah, no, des. Hi, there you
I
go.
was thinking it was in here.
Right. Okay, and then Juban, number 10.
これは何ですか?
それは靴です。
Hi. Okay.
これは何ですか?
それは
時計。時計です。はい。12番。
これは何ですか?
それは新聞です。
はい、そうですね。新聞。新聞。はい、新聞です。新聞です。はい。いいですか? Are we out of time? Right. Okay, so good job on that one. So does everybody kind of get the hang of how kore sore work? Okay, so next class we'll work on are, and then the next one will be differentiating how we use kono sono ano differently from kore sore are, because they are similar in one dimension and different in another dimension.
I had a question about something real quick.
Hi.
I'll come to you.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn off the recording.
Yeah, I'll sit up over there.